One hotel, 27 content creators, 4 days. How did it actually go down? Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is going to be a new Chatty Get Ready With Me. So I'm going to be doing my makeup and talking a little bit about one of the recent trips that I went on. This was to Palm Springs, California. Greetings from Palm Springs. I did not buy this shirt there, I got it from Target. But I am going to be talking about the recent Creators and Friends trip that just happened in Palm Springs. You might have seen some of my videos about it, some other content creators videos about it, because this is essentially a content creator retreat. So I'm going to be talking about what it was like to spend 4 days in one hotel with 27 other content creators, what we did, how it actually was, how people really are, especially on these trips. And I'm going to be getting ready using some of the products that we received from some of the brand partners on this trip. So we got some goodie bags, we had some different brand activations that were there, so that is the products I'm going to be using. I'll link everything in my description box and also the YouTube shopping button if there's anything you're interested in. Let me get you zoomed in and we'll get started. Starting off with my face, so Sigma Beauty, we actually got to have a dinner with them on our last night there, which was so exciting. They showed us a few sneak peeks of brushes that are going to be coming at the start of the new year. And then they also gifted everyone their complexion products, which I love these. If you have seen like a handful of my last Get Ready With Me videos, you've seen me using this skin tint. But I love this one. I have the shade 3 that I use. I'm someone who really loves a more light coverage, natural finish foundation, and that is what I get with this one from Sigma. I have worn it constantly. Mine is well over half gone. So they gave us this, the concealer, the powder. They also gave us some of their soft focused brushes. This one is the F48 soft coverage. So this is what I'm going to use to blend in the skin tint. Honestly, sometimes I just use my fingers as well, but these brushes from Sigma, there's been a few standouts. Like I love the bronzer brush, the blush brush, the concealer brush has been one of my absolute favorites, but I just love this skin tint. I mentioned it in my last review video, and it is one that I've just been using nonstop. To talk a little bit about Creators and Friends and the event that we did in Palm Springs, I do actually run the business myself. So I co-founded Creators and Friends events with my partner Simbri, or Simbri Thinks on Instagram. So we hosted our first retreat in May of last year. We went to Charleston, and then in April of this year, we went to New Orleans and hosted another one. Then we had Palm Springs. Also last year, we had a holiday party in Las Vegas. So this was just a one-night event. It was a 3-hour-long party, and we are hosting another one in Las Vegas again this year, and it's happening on December 6th. Brie and I both have experience with event planning. So as we started to connect with one another actually through other events like Generation Beauty, Ipsy Beauty, things like that, Simbri hosted a party herself in LA in 2019 that I went to. So once we realized that we kind of both had this interest, we decided to team up together. And then again in 2023 was when we first started actually putting the business into play. And Charleston was our first foray into it, and we just kind of wondered how people would like it, and the response was really good. It was really good from the creators, it was really good from the brand partners that we had, and then we thought, okay, maybe we can do this again. And we did it in New Orleans, and that went over really well, and we were like, okay, maybe we're really onto something here. So now we've done Palm Springs. We have 2 retreats on the calendar for 2025, which we're really excited for, but kind of the entire idea behind Creators and Friends is kind of in the name there, is to form genuine connections and friendships amongst the creator community. This is a very solo job. As I make this video, I'm sitting in my apartment by myself. The majority of my YouTube videos I make in my apartment by myself. I think especially with things like beauty and fashion, we're typically making these videos on our own. I do live in Las Vegas, so I see some people who have Vegas channels and vlogging channels, and they're kind of more out and about. But I think especially in the industry that I've been in for so long, and the niche that I've been in for so long, it is a very lonely job. I, come from traditional employment where we had meetings and potlucks and brainstorm sessions and all of those things. And I, shared an office with someone for so many years, and you kind of lose that when you go into this field of self-employment. So our idea, especially after COVID, and once those events went away and didn't really come back, we thought, we see something lacking in the industry. We see something lacking in the community. How can we best bring it together? So our idea was to do these retreats and, essentially kind of similar to a brand trip. Like the idea behind it is similar, where you're taking a handful of influencers and you're going on a trip somewhere. But instead of being with just one brand or really focusing on like an eyeshadow palette launch, a foundation launch, we have brands that support us, which is a big reason of how we can put on these events. So we have brands in that way, but we have multiple brands that work with us, and they work with us in a variety of different ways. So for example, Sigma, which I'm going to use their color corrector duo, which you can see I've hit pan on this side. I'm going to use the lighter side on my under eyes and then the darker side to spot conceal. And then using one of my favorite brushes, the F72 soft angled concealer. I do have a discount code with Sigma, which is Samantha, if you're interested in any of these products. But they work with us in a variety of different ways. So for like Sigma Beauty, they hosted a dinner for us. So we were able to go out to dinner in Palm Springs, and we had some of the Sigma team there. They did a demo with their complexion products, and they also sat with us at dinner. And that was something that was really enjoyable. And something that I heard from the creators is that they really enjoyed having that brand presence there. They enjoyed being able to talk with them, to understand and be able to ask questions, not only about the products, but they were able to ask questions about their affiliate program, about future launches, about what they look for when they're making social media content with products from the brand. Those kinds of things that you don't really get because, again, you don't have those brainstorm sessions, those meetings, those one-on-ones. You don't really get that in that industry. So that's something that, again, Simbri and I are trying to bring with this event, with this business idea in mind, is to be able to create these connections amongst the creators. We take a group of people and we put them together, kind of like the real world or something like that, and we hang out for several days together. But then we're also giving them access to brands, and we're also giving brands access to creators, because there's a lot of creators that have said, like, I've always wanted to work with this brand. I've always wanted PR from this brand. Now I have an affiliate code with this brand. So we're hopefully giving creators an opportunity to form long-term connections with these brands as well. And same on the flip side. That's what I hope that we're doing for brands. They're being able to find new creators to add to their affiliate programs, new creators to be able to send out PR to, and we kind of just hope that it's a win-win situation for everybody. I know for me, you know, as the founder and someone who's like behind the scenes of this business, it has been one of the proudest things that I have worked on. Especially because we just wrapped up a trip, and what Simbri and I do after the fact is that we do send out surveys, and you know, we send them to our brand partners, and then we also send them to the attendees, and we ask, you know, what did you think of this part? What did you think of that part? What did you think of the food? What did you think of the overall vibe? What did you think of the location? And again, this is a brand new business. We planned Charleston and New Orleans before we ever launched the business, before Charleston ever happened. Obviously, Charleston was already planned. New Orleans was also already planned. And we had pretty much planned completely Palm Springs. And we were doing this off of no feedback yet. So it's been really great for us to have the feedback from the attendees to see like what works, what doesn't, what we can improve on. Because of course, there's always gonna be things that we can be better at. There's gonna be things that we didn't think of that someone else will think of. But I will say overall, what I've seen so far from the feedback is so much gratitude from creators, especially, of being able to meet one another. I watched Top Mess Tom do a Get Ready With Me. They were talking about meeting Hannah Louise Poston and how much that meant to them, because you know, Hannah really inspired their channel. And to me, that really means a lot, because there's so many people that inspire me and that have really made such an impact in my life, that to be able to have the opportunity to meet them, to tell someone that in person, of course, like I can send DMs and emails to people to say like, this really inspired me, this really touched me. But I remember getting to meet Kathleen Lights in person. It was at an event with Rephr Cosmetics, a launch party. And it just felt so different to be able to see her in person, to say like, you really motivated me. You've really inspired me. To be able to tell that one-on-one to someone is a really different feeling. And so I've been really grateful to hear so many creators say that they appreciate those moments and that they appreciate being able to have the retreats where, yes, it's work. Yes, almost everyone is vlogging, everyone's taking photos, everyone's trying to get the good content while they're there. But there's also kind of like a chill vibe to it at the same time, where people are just walking around in their pajamas. You know, people are just hanging out with each other, talking about their families and their pets and their lives and their jobs. And for us, for Palm Springs, we actually rented out an entire hotel, a boutique hotel called the Monkey Tree Hotel. That was the first time we did that. For Charleston and New Orleans, we rented out really big Airbnbs. Like the one in New Orleans had 3 different levels. And so like essentially someone could just come in and rent out like the top level if they wanted to, and like a different party could rent out the second. There's separate entrances to all of them. So we rented out the whole thing, and then we had, you know, 10 creators on the first floor, 10 on the second floor, 10 on the third floor is kind of how we did it. So for Palm Springs, this was a little bit different since we had a hotel, and it's been really fun to get the feedback because people were like, it kind of felt like a summer camp. Like it really kind of felt like a vacation. Pool was in the center, and then we had all the different rooms around it, and people either had a single room. If people want to request a solo room, they can, or they can double up with someone. Like my roommate was Makeup Molly. So it was either 1 to 2 creators per room, but we had a common area that we would like put food and snacks and drinks in there. There was like a photo booth and some games in there. But then we had the pool that, like, it was just like such a vibe. It was so fun to walk out my door in the morning and just see people like chilling, eating breakfast in their robes, in their slippers. And I was like, this is just so much fun. So I thought that that was really cool. But again, at the same time, it kind of gives creators a way to really form those genuine connections outside of just work. Like obviously work brings us together and we're there to work and do all the things, but at the same time we're there to make genuine friendships. And of course not everyone's going to be like best friends with absolutely everybody, but I've seen from each trip, you know, a new friendship, a new connection get made, and that's really exciting to me. And again, it's something why I'm really proud of this business, because I always say that for me, I got online because I didn't feel like I had any friends. And to now be able to be doing so much, especially in the event space and the travel space and the community space, it really makes me feel like I'm finally kind of like, what is it, like talking the talk, walking the walk, whatever that is. Because I've said so long on my channel, like one of our taglines for creators and friends is community over competition. And that is something that I've said on my channel for so long. And it's like I say it, and like I hope that I've embodied that over the years. I used to do consistently, I would like every like week or something like that, I would shout out other creators in my videos. That was something I did for a really long time. I've done a lot of collaborations, but now I feel like I've been able to take it to another level with hosting trips, not only with my community, with my Sam squad. I'm filming this the day before I go to Greece. Going to Greece with 19 of you from my community, which is so exciting. I've hosted Ireland, and I just did Portland, Maine with Angie, Austin, Las Vegas. You know, it's been really exciting for me. But now I get to do it with on the creator side as well. And that to me is just like such a special feeling. And I feel like it's just kind of come full circle for me, like why I got online, and now I'm able to have these experiences and make new friends, but I'm also helping other people find friends through the online world. And that to me is just such a special feeling, and it's something that I really do have a lot of pride in. Okay, it started to get a little bit dark, so I changed my lighting, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Looks kind of like overcast. It's super hot in Las Vegas still. It is October and we're still hitting 105 every single day, which is crazy. But it just all of a sudden got really, all of a sudden I could feel the sun, like it almost got colder in my room. I was like, what just happened? So hopefully the lighting is a little bit better. But I'm gonna use a product from Physician's Formula, and this is a Butter Glow bronzer and blush. So we got to do something really fun with Physician's Formula, and we hosted a pool party with them. So they had some of their team come out and they created this really beautiful setup for us. I just thought it was so freaking cute. They had this whole backdrop. They had different chairs set out and people could do makeup touch-ups. They had these super cute hats. Also, I didn't realize when I was watching Tom's video, they said that I stole their hat. Like, I don't even remember doing this. I genuinely have no recollection of this. That just kind of shows you when I'm there, like I'm so all over the place and like trying to make sure everything's running smoothly and being set up, also vlogging at the same time. Like I'm doing like so many different things. But I was watching their video and they were like, I had a hat and Samantha March asked to borrow it and then never gave it back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But I genuinely don't remember that at all. I don't even remember, why did I have a hat? Like, Physicians Formula brought these like really fun hats for everybody, and at one point we filmed this video in the pool and so many people had these hats on. I don't remember ever wearing a hat, so I'm like, that is just so funny to me, but it literally shows you when I'm at these events as the event planner and coordinator, Simbury and I aren't really like in it, you know? Like, we're kind of on the outskirts. We're making sure everything's running smoothly. We're keeping track of our itinerary. We're making sure like brands are there, our food's being set up, the caterer is there. I also do all the vlogging for everything, so I'm like always running around with my camera trying to make sure I'm getting like all the different shots. So it's just like pure madness for me when I'm there. It's truly like nonstop, but it's so much fun. Like I love it. But I was just like laughing so hard when I heard that. But they had this really cute setup for us and they gifted us a few products. So I'm gonna be using the Sigma Soft Sculpt. This is the F11. So this is a really beautiful brush as well. And I'm just gonna kind of tap it in on this side over here. And then we're gonna use this lighter pink for a blush. This one is in the shade Healthy Glow. But that was so cute. And I saw from a lot of the attendees that they really liked it. Physicians Formula also had an ice cream cart set up. So we had a local ice cream vendor come out with a little cart and people were able to get ice cream, touch-ups. Again, meet the Physicians Formula team. Sometimes it can be a weird thing of like, Simbury and I try to be very careful to not call this like a brand trip. We really do call it creator retreats and influencer events and things like that, even though we do work with brands. But again, they are a huge way of why we're able to put on these events, because it is quite expensive to rent out an entire hotel. It is quite expensive to feed everybody for an entire week. It is quite expensive. Like, all of those things, they really help us be able to put these events together. But to me, and what I think is really important at the end of the day, is helping the creators create those connections with the brands. Because for me, that was what was so important. When I went to Generation Beauty and Ipsy, a big reason why I was going was for the networking. So I could put my face and my name in front of a brand to say like, I would love, PR from you one day. I would love an affiliate code one day. I would love to be considered for collaborations one day. These are really huge things that are a part of our career. And to me, if I can have like a very tiny role of helping at least just having a creator be able to put their face and name to a brand, being able to shake someone's hand that's on the social media team. Last year in New Orleans, we had Simone, the founder of Sigma, come down to do dinner. We had founders from Cleona Cosmetics come down, the founder from Surat Beauty come down. Like, to me, that's a really exciting part, because I know how much that one-on-one interaction has really helped in my own career. So to me, that's just like really important. So I was glad that people had so much fun at the pool party. And I thought it was just like a very, once again, just kind of like a chill, laid back vibe. But we also got to get some products from the brand, learn about some of the products, and meet the team. And then for the blush, I'm using the F43 Soft Angled Cheek from Sigma. So I'm just gonna kind of hit it on this side here that has the blush to it, and just add a little bit of a blush to the cheeks as well. All right, for my eyes, I'm going to be using an eyeshadow palette from Fantasy Cosmetica, and this is the Cradled in Ice palette. So this one is so pretty. I also have some brushes from Rephr, so super excited to use them. And I was so excited to partner with Rephr because they're a brand that I have used for such a long time, and they're also a brand that I feel like cares so much about connecting with creators. I actually met one of the founders, Tom, back when I lived in Iowa still, and at the time he was literally traveling around meeting affiliates in the Rephr program because he just wanted to, again, put a face to a name, meet people, talk about the brand, see what we liked, and I was like, what, like how cool is that someone does that, right? I'm gonna do a pretty simple look, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna start with Adore. And from Rephr, this is the 15 blending brush. So there is a little mirror in here as well. So I'm just gonna put this one into my crease. And then this one is more of like it's almost like a fuchsia shade, I would say. So I'm gonna add this to the crease, do a little bit more. I mean, it's Fantasy Cosmetica, so I feel like I'm gonna do a little bit more of see, I say basic, but it's still gonna be like what I think is colorful, but I'm planning to use like 2 shades, right? Because that's what I normally do. But again, I was really excited to partner with Rephr on this one because I just feel like they're a brand that really understands the importance of those connections, which is kind of the whole thing behind the whole idea. And then also Fantasy Cosmetica, super excited to have them there. And this, I know so many people who just adore the Fantasy palettes, so I was really excited to try another one from the brand. I've never tried Cradled and Ice before. And I do have a discount code with Fantasy as well, and that one is Samantha that you can use on the website. But I recently hosted a group trip with my girlfriend Angelica Neekfist, who's another YouTuber, and we took 19 of our #SamG community to Portland, Maine for a girls' weekend. So this was just a weekend trip, and while we were there, we had people share what was in their travel makeup bags. I had them share their eyeshadow palettes and also the lip products that they brought because we didn't have time to get through all with us. It would have been 21. So that would have taken, you know, a hot minute, of course. But we had them share that, and there was so much fantasy in that video. And I was like, I'm gonna have to tell Jordan. And Jordan is also the founder of Fantasy, is one of the nicest humans. She is another one. Like these, it's so funny to talk about Rephr and then Fantasy back to back, but Angie and I hosted another retreat back in June in Austin, Texas, and Jordan came on that trip. And I was like, what? Like, and I just thought that was so nice. And she brought Fantasy products for people, and I just thought that was so freaking cool. Okay, I'm trying to decide what shimmer I want to use. So I'm between Snuggle, so pretty. Also looking at Treasure. Beautiful. And then Frost is the other one. Okay. I think it's gonna be Frost. That was kind of my first thought, but I was like, I don't know, let me just see. But yeah, we're gonna go with Frost. Okay, so taking the Frost shade with the O2, and then I'm just going to run this. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty all over the lid. But yeah, it was so nice to meet Jordan, and I know that, you know, it's just so funny because there was so many fans of Fantasy Cosmetica on the trip, and so then for them to be able to meet Jordan, we did have content creators that came on that trip as well. Amanda, or Makeup Just for Fun, Kelly from QWLDSO Beauty was there. We also had, you know, consumers and lovers of Fantasy Cosmetica. So for them to be able to meet Jordan, I know was such an exciting thing for them. So I don't know, I just think it's really special when people realize, because I can remember making videos when I would do like Gen Beauty and Ipsy and all the things. Like I remember coming home and talking about my experience with them and being like on such a high, because meeting people who did the same thing that I did, meeting people where I could really kind of ask questions like, how do you find these products? How do you find these links? How do you know, what settings do you use for your camera? And then I was able to eventually go on to meet brands and people who worked with the brands, and that opened up so many doors for me. It really inspired me and sparked so much creativity in me. And so now being able to be the one that puts those together, it really means a lot to me. And it's something that I have so much fun with, and I'm hoping that Simbri and I can just, you know, be able to continue to expand and grow and be able to do more of these. I do a little bit of black liner on my waterline to say that, like, I really felt that in Palm Springs. Everyone, I said this in my vlog, but everyone was so welcoming. Everyone was so inviting. We have a variety of different creators, ranging from micro creators, ranging from, you know, creators with a larger following. We also have beauty, fashion, lifestyle. I mean, we tried to bring together, you know, different parts of the industry. Like, I'll say, like, we're primarily beauty focused because that's Simbri and my background. That's what we do. That's the niche that we are in. So that's kind of, you know, obviously who we know, and like for brands and stuff, that's who we know, but we would love to be able to keep expanding. We always ask our attendees, like, who would you recommend to us? Like, if you want to give us names for other content creators, we can reach out to them, or obviously other brands as well. And everyone's super nice in passing us some referrals and recommendations. And Simbri and I have been really excited that we launched a website just a couple of months ago. So it's creatorsfriendsevents.com. So you can kind of see a little bit more about the business there. You can see some of photos from the past events that we've done. We also have pages for content creators. We have pages for brands that kind of explain the concept and how to get involved. And, you know, we always say that Simbri and I are just two people. We don't know everybody, and we would love to be able to keep growing our database. So there's a spot on the website where you can fill out a form that will go over to us. We can add you to our database. You can always DM us on Instagram as well. Again, just Creators Friends Events. You can send us a DM over there to say that you would like to be included, and then we do the best that we can with sending out as many invites as we can. You know, for something like the holiday party, we can invite more people because there's really no like cap space on it. Versus, you know, when we were in Palm Springs, we only had 16 rooms and, you know, 16 beds to put people in. Again, same with New Orleans. We have a certain amount of beds, a certain amount of rooms that we can put people in. For something like the holiday party, and I hope that we can do more one-day parties in the future as well, you know, we can kind of invite more people, and it's kind of like a good, almost like a quote unquote like entry level way to get a feel for Creators and Friends events, to see what it's about, to be able to start networking with other content creators. So we had about 60 attendees last year. We had, you know, some food and drinks out there. We had a bartender, we had a charcuterie board and some donuts. We had some really nice goodie bags put together. This year we'll have like a really fun photo booth that's out there, and we're just excited for it. So if you're a content creator, you know anyone, you want to send them our way, like we would be so appreciative of that. And you know, something, Simbri and I did a live chat from Palm Springs the night before the event, because we go out a day early and start to get set up. There's a lot that goes in behind the scenes. I have a vlog up and you can kind of see like everything that goes into it. And you know, it's kind of a lot. It's kind of crazy. We were saying on the live chat that, you know, one of the biggest things we see is like, you're not inviting this person or that person. And one thing that I'll always say is that like, no one really knows who it is we're inviting. Like, unless you see the invite list and unless you see like the responses coming in and people declining or accepting or having to back out last minute or things like that, like, you don't really know that. And like, again, we do our best to be able to send invites to everybody, but not everyone wants to do this. I know I have a few really close friends that don't want to do a retreat at all. Like, the last thing they want to do is spend 4 days of their time, 4 days away from work, 4 days of friends, 4 days away from their family and friends, and be in like a group setting like that. That's just not for everybody. And that is totally okay. Again, some of my closest friends are like, Samantha, that's such a cool business idea. I'm never gonna go. And I'm like, totally fine. Like, respect, understand, all good. Again, some people aren't able to get away for that amount of time. Some people do have, you know, traditional employment, childcare, because the creators do pay to be there, pay for their flights or if they're driving. And then there is also a fee to attend the events as well. The biggest thing for Simbri and I is that kind of tells us that you're serious, that you want to go, because we put a lot into this. And if we just had people be like, yeah, I can go, and then because they have nothing really holding them to it, like we've had cancellations every single trip so far, right? Every single trip, the holiday party, like something's always going to come up for someone. But typically if you pay to be there, people are more likely to show up. So we just know that we're putting all of this together and people really will come. And we do also do a lot of personalization products with the brands. So we've had like makeup bags given out with names on it. Like this last trip, like we had slippers there. We have people fill out, you know, like Fantasy Cosmetica said, like, what palettes do you want? We had Sigma Beauty say, what are your shades in these complexion products? So it's customized per person. So it just kind of helps us know that our attendees that say that they're coming, they're really going to come. But not everyone is able to afford that. You know, I always tell the story of when I was first invited to a Generation Beauty, I couldn't afford the ticket and I couldn't afford a flight to New York and I couldn't afford 3 nights in a hotel. And I was super devastated about it. So I understand that not everyone is also able to financially make it work. Like, not everyone's going to be able to fly to Las Vegas for a one-night holiday party. You know, like, it just is what it is. But we will continue to, you know, keep inviting. Like, we've had people that we've invited to every single event that have turned down every single event. We're like, you know what, we'll keep asking. Because maybe one day you'll change your mind. Like, maybe one day something will work out for you, or maybe someday things will be settled down and you can come. So we'll just, you know, try to keep asking. So that's why I always say, you know, let us know if you're a content creator. Again, if you have someone that you want to pass our info on to, like, we would be so excited about that. I'm going to use a mascara from Typology. This is their serum mascara. So I have not tried this, and I am super curious to see what it's about. I love trying out new mascaras. So, ooh, this is going to be so interesting. So Typology, we actually worked with them in a really fun way too. We did room drops on this trip, which was the first time we were doing something like that. So Tuesday night was the start of the event. So we had people come in, we had a catered dinner that night. We also did the favorite things party, which was super fun. People brought their favorite things. We all got to pick a few of ours. So that was like a super fun icebreaker game that we played. And then in between dinner and the favorite things party, Simbri and I did our first room drop. And this was with Solo Wave. So they gave away one of their facial devices. So we went around room to room and gave everyone this facial device, and then also Solo Wave sent along some ice cream. They were working with a local ice cream company as well. So we gave everyone this little facial device and a carton of ice cream, and it was so fun. And then the next day when we had the pool party, while everyone was at the pool party, Simbri and I went and we delivered these Typology gift bags to everybody in their room. So there was a handful of products in there. Another product that I'm going to use, the mascara, one of their illuminators was in there. Also these like makeup eraser pads, which are so helpful. I use these all the time, especially for traveling. They are so, so nice. And then on the third night, I was really excited for this night because we did a room drop with Rephr Wellness, which is one of my favorite brands, and they are the functional mushroom company that I use. So I featured these in my last PR haul. I talk about my mushrooms all of the time. They're something that's really helped with my PCOS diagnosis, using things like lion's mane, cordyceps, turkey tail, that sort of thing. Again, I'm getting ready to go to Greece, and I'm making sure to pack out my turkey tail because it helps with immune support. But what we did is we made a mushroom hot chocolate. So we put the 4 mushroom blend, which has reishi, which helps promote relaxation. So we did this the third night after dinner. And like we went to the Sigma dinner, we came back, we told everyone to go to their rooms. We had something coming from them for them. So we made hot chocolate with the 4 mushroom blend, and then we went around to everyone's room and gave them the hot chocolate, and then also a few goodies from Rephr Wellness. So I was really excited to do that, and I thought that was just like a super cute way to be a little bit interactive and to work with brands on a different level than being in the goodie bags and things like that. Again, just a little bit more of like a personalization feel to it. So it seemed like everyone was excited to get their hot chocolate. I was excited to get it as well. I did bring my own bag of marshmallows, which, you know, that's just me. I also live off of marshmallows, so there's that. But that was a super fun way to be able to work with some of the brands like Typology. So this mascara, it looks like a nice like lengthening mascara. And it's so funny because it says serum mascara. So I was like, how is this gonna be? Because I don't know if I've ever tried anything that said serum mascara, but it's one of those that like, it feels so light on the lashes. You know, when I think of like a serum foundation or something like that, I think of like lightweight, and I'm like, is it weird to describe a mascara as lightweight? To me, I don't notice anything like super vavoom, but it's like a very natural finish effect mascara, if that makes sense. I think this will be really pretty if you like already have super beautiful lashes, which I'm very jealous of you if you are, because it just kind of gives like a very natural like lift and like lengthen to them. And I'm also just realizing I did not do my powder yet. I feel like I've just been talking away that I forgot to do my powder. So this one is from Sigma Beauty. They also gifted this one to us. And mine is in Buttermilk is the shade that I got. I think I've also used Vanilla Bean. I'm going to use the F08 Precision Powder. So I'm just going to like shake it a little bit like that. So we have a little bit of the powder that comes out. So I'm gonna do some on my under eyes, and then I am also going to set the face. I completely forgot my powder, which, not that I'm doing anything, I'm getting done with this video. I'm going to finish like packing my suitcase. I have everything like pulled out, but I just need to finish like actually packing my suitcase. So I am ready to go, and then probably just taking my makeup off and going for a walk and watching the Monday Night Football game, going to bed early, all the fun things as I prepare for my last international trip of the year. So very exciting. But it's been really fun to do all of these trips with creators and friends, with Angie, with my community. The international trips have been so fun. I just announced my next trip for 2025, and we are actually going to Bali, which has me so excited. I'm like so shook, I can't believe it. But we're going to Bali, so the booking is open now for that. So if you want to check out the itinerary, the booking form, that is in my description box, but we are going next year, August. There is one early bird spot that is available. So it's just, I think it's like $250 cheaper if you book at the early bird price. So we do have one of those left. So if you want to check that out, you definitely can. But yeah, these trips, the connections, it's really made 2024 like just such a magical year for me. To finish it off, I have another product from Typology. This is their Powder Pink Lip Oil. Ooh, with vitamin E and squalene. So first I'm going to line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in Love Trap. So I like to line my lips and then fill them in a little bit. And then we're gonna do the Typology over that. So this looks like a pretty, almost like more like liquidy, again, kind of serum, like lip oil, but I do love me a good lip oil, and I feel like this nude combo works really well with the more pink eyes that we have going on. So, cute, okay. I like it. I like it. I like the way that this look came out. I love the Sigma product, so I'm not surprised that I love like the base, the concealer, but the eyes are so pretty. The Physicians Formula bronzer and blush is just like a nice, like a touch of glow. The lips I think came out really pretty. The mascara is like very natural and flattering looking. So I will, again, I'll have all those products linked down below. And I just want to say another thank you to everyone who came to Palm Springs and made it what it was, because truly, like, as I hear feedback from the creators who were there, you know, it's so funny because so many people have said to me, like, I was so nervous, you know, what if people aren't nice, or what if there's drama, or what if it's cliquey? And just none of our events have been that way. And I'm so grateful to, you know, people are like, you and Simbri are doing such a good job. And I'm like, okay, but it's really like the people who are there, like you're the ones that are making the experience. And like, yes, like we're giving you the space and we're giving you like the opportunity, but you know, people could go on this trip and be mean and not talk to anybody and like all those things, but that's not what, and I'm not surprised, but that's not what's happening. And people really want to see other people succeed, and people really do want those friendships and those connections. So you know, for viewers, I hope it's kind of an interesting thing to see. Like, I don't know how interesting it is to see or to hear about it, but I hope it's kind of interesting to see kind of the behind the scenes and what we do. And, you know, one of the different things that we had for Palm Springs was we had Erica, or your YouTube coach, come in and do a masterclass session on YouTube analytics. And, you know, to me, I was like, I hope people see that there's so many of us that this is a career for us. This is what we put so much of our time and energy and effort into. And that includes things like continuing education. That means things like attending master classes, buying courses, and trying to learn more and trying to be better and continue to improve. So I hope it was kind of interesting to see a behind the scenes of a work trip, but also, you know, a trip that's really focused on connections and memories as well. And so a huge thank you to everyone who came. A huge thank you to our brand partners and all of these amazing products that we got. And we hope to work with you on future events as well. And, you know, obviously a very special shout out to my partner, Simbri. You know, she's someone who has really inspired me. When we did the live chat and people said, what do you like most about each other, or something along those lines, I said that she just really, again, I just think it's so important to surround yourself with people who do inspire you and motivate you and make you want to be a better person. And that's how I feel about Simbri. She's such a powerhouse in so many ways, and she's brought so much to this business, and so much that like I couldn't do it without her. And she's been someone who I've gotten to know a lot better over the last couple of years. She's someone who I've laughed with, who I've cried with, who we've shared our frustrations with. Like I can text her like the most random things and she's like, I know. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, she's someone who I've gotten to know on that level, and I'm super grateful for it. And I'm excited to see where we can take this business and hopefully the differences that we can make in this community and in this industry. And it's something that we're really trying to do and that we have a passion for. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this Get Ready With Me, hearing a little bit about creators and friends and our Palm Springs events. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.